G'day guys, it's the Pink King here, and I'm back with another game from the AFL 2020 Premiership season. It's North Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. Both these teams won round 1 and lost round 2, which is the opposite of what happened to the first two teams in the last game. Alright, so North versus Pair. At Marvel Stadium, looking nice and big. Looking pretty full for a North Melbourne game, but you know, that's how it is. Yep, good team. Yep, good team, no worries. Alright, so like I said, both teams 1-1 so far. Both teams won round 1, both teams lost round 2. Both teams looking to get back on the winners list. I think both teams lost to the team that played in the last game too, which is a bit weird, but anyway, let's get into it. Oh, Pittard plays his 150th. His third for North Melbourne and 147 for Port, obviously, before that. I like how they don't get the actual player to go through the banner first. It's still just going to be is able to go through first. Oh no, apparently it was Ben Brown. Alright. Converge for the toss of the coin. Yeah, Tom Jonas and Jake Zeeble right in the middle. Ray Chamberlain again. He's doing his 13th game straight, and he must be getting pretty tired by now.
Both these teams coming off losses. What an exciting matchup we have here today.
Alrighty, the ball is gone up, and again we've got one small ruckman versus a normal ruckman. So North Melbourne might be in a bit of strife here straight off the bat. Don't know why the ruckmen aren't playing ruck. That being said, it's in North Melbourne's forward line. Lyset wins the ruck again, kicked out. Unlucky. Oh, Robbie Gray's injured from that. It was a high tackle, and if he had got the hands out, Port were away. But anyway, ball spills out the front. I think that was Robbie Gray running off just then. Yeah, it was. Trent Burgoyne's coming on for him, and North have just got a chain of handballs. And it's a goal. Ben Brown kicks the first goal of the game. He was getting tackled, but he had enough composure to slot it. And yeah, he's pretty happy with that. He's about run back as far as he does with his set shots. There you have it there. Handball over the top, just gets it on the boot as he got tackled. No issue. So North Melbourne draw first blood despite not having a proper ruckman to win the ruck taps. They just keep getting the clearances at the moment. They've gone sideways to Taylor Garner, who goes short. Marked by Darcy Byrne-Jones, who doesn't look like himself. I guess that's because he's got a shaved head. Hamish Hartlett takes the mark, and he goes back out to the wing. So we're doing a bit of a zigzag pattern at the moment. Won by North Melbourne, intercepted by Jonas though, who gets tackled immediately, drawn straight down into the ground. Should have been in the back. Lyset wins the ruck once again. He's winning all the hit-outs so far. It's just not really turning into Port possessions here. And he's gone and tapped it straight over the boundary line, which again, deliberate out of bounds every single time. Zeeble is the benefactor from that. He gets the ball. He's going to kick from about 45 metres. No, he's kicked it from the 50 to the top of the goal square. Danger zone. Dom Tyson gets tackled quickly, and Lyset calls it a day for now. And Rosie has resorted to doing all the ruck taps. So if you can't even win the clearances when you've got a proper ruckman versus a midfielder. Well, Kane Turner is injured as Mason Wood kicks the goal. I was going to say, Port are in real trouble if they can't even be winning with a ruckman versus a normal midfielder, let alone when you put two midfielders together. As Rosie loses the tap, and now all of a sudden they start getting ball movement. They're inside 50 finally, and Marley Williams gets tackled as he gets the ball. And North are away. No one around any of their players. Kane Turner just plays on. He's got Ben Brown to him, but no one else between him and goals. He's going to run it all the way, and he slots it. How the hell did that happen? Port are a shambles at the moment. Who set up this team? It wasn't me, because it's wrong. Ollie Wines handballs it straight to Ben Brown, who gets done for throwing the ball, so got a bit lucky there. Ben Brown's gone up the ground a bit. I think he's just trying to ice the clock for the rest of the quarter. It doesn't work because Port finally get movement, finally get a good clean inside 50, and Travis Boak slots it. Might be enough to start a comeback. Don't think they have enough time for another one this quarter, but who knows? It's not clean enough for it. And Ben Brown's tackled. Still time for North. They don't get a clean clearance. They get the ball out of it though. They run out of time. They handball it forward and the siren goes. It's North by 12 against Port. It's a good start to the quarter. To the match, I should say, not the whole quarter. Yeah, Port, don't know how they ended up losing all those clearances. They just couldn't get their hands on the footy. Apparently North had more hit-outs, which doesn't make sense at all. I'm sure Port won every single one of those hit-outs, but whatever you say. 18-6 as Lyset's back in the ruck against the shortest bloke that's meant to be a ruckman I've ever seen. Ball goes out wide because somehow North still won it, and they've got numbers goal side of the ball as it comes forward to their 50. Ball spills. Zeeble bumps. Clever decision making, but still doesn't manage to get it to one of his own teammates. Port get forward. Magic Door recognises the risk and comes forward for the ball. The Port player stays in the goal square, and Magic Door makes the contest himself and wins it. So now it's in the centre square. It's right on the edge of the square. High tackle against Polek, and Trent Burgoyne in his second or third match of the year. He's kicked it to the middle. Port running it forward. Stephen Motlop can't get onto the ball, and it bounces out of bounds. So Port sort of settled now. They've got it into their forward line. They lose the tap. I don't know who that is, but he's winning the taps apparently. Lyset big bump, bombed up into the top of the 50, marked by Trent Dumont, who can go back, and that should be 50 as well. He kicks it to a one-on-one, and it's not marked by anyone. Comes down. Powell Peppel gets done for throwing the ball, which is very harsh because he's the only one that wanted to pick it up. Bad Ebert takes the mark over Polek. He smothers him though. Polek first back to the ball. He handballs it over his head. That should be holding the man, but it's not. It's going to spill out to Powell Pepper, who also gets tackled, and finally Ryan Burton gives away a free kick. And there's a bit of movement going on now. Thought it was just going to be players tackling each other for the rest of the quarter, but it's not quite going to be that way. I think that's Goldstein. He should be in the ruck, but he's not. And Lyset gets wrapped up for another ball up. Ben Brown comes off.
What do you make of the game so far, Gary?
I'm really enjoying this.
Straight into the lap of Polek, but it spills loose and it's pushing the back against Miles Bergman. This will probably be the last entry. Trent Dumont takes a mark, and this could just about be the last score of the half if he takes his time. Well, he's missed. There's 2.5 on the clock. There's probably enough time for North to score again, but Port probably won't. 19-6 is a dangerous scoreline for Port. They might want to start getting their ass into gear if they want to get into this game. Sam Powell Pepper marks safely, should end the quarter or the half like this. Trent Burgoyne marks and plays on, kicks it up in the air to a pack. Time runs out, and we're going into half time. 13 points the difference. North Melbourne in the lead. So Roos are just doing more. Port are now winning the hit-outs, so obviously they've worked out that Lysette's the Port player, not the North Melbourne player. And yeah, I don't really know what else to look at here, because everything sort of points to it being a tight one, but it seems like North are about to blow the whole game apart. But let's see. Ball is up. Pollock gets the first hands to the ball. Port end up winning the clearance. It's soccered forward, and now North have all the players forward. He kicks it to a one-on-one. A big mark by Jake Piscini, who gets back, and he kicks to Darcy Burne-Jones. So Port trying to rebound it. He doesn't go back on his mark properly, and it's smothered. Ball comes out, and guess who scores? None other than Jai Simpkin. North Melbourne are putting Port on the ropes right now. You have to go back on the mark before trying to take a kick, because it will get smothered. And yeah, when you're 2-on-1 situation there and you've got the ball, you're in trouble, because you're going to get tackled, and there's no one to stop the other player getting the ball if you let go of it. So you pretty much have to hold it in, which he did not do. Ball up again. Lysette wins it. Bounces out to a North Melbourne player. Not sure who it is. I think it's Adelaide, but it could have been Higgins.
There'll be a ball up in the centre square. Can you tell us anything at the moment, Gaz?
Ball goes forward for Port, but there's just no one around the ball. Marley Williams gets tackled, and it's another ball up in the middle of the ground. Fend off. Pollock gets it, he pumps it forward, but Jake Piscini's back for a mark. He goes wide and marked by Tom Jonas. He sees a couple players loose, he goes for them, and Travis Boak's the player that gets to it. He goes backwards, and this is the silly sort of shit that ends up being a goal for the other team. Sam Powell-Pepper goes back to Jake Piscini, who's managed to work his way outside the 50. He's kicked it to Robbie Gray, who's taken the mark. He was injured earlier, but apparently he's back on. Rosie's come on for Lysette. Charlie Dixon's apparently on the ground. Didn't even know. He's kicked it forward, and Watts can't take the mark. Would have been a big hit, but it's dodged. There's plenty of players around the ball for North Melbourne. They keep moving it forward. They're in real strife. Port were in so much strife, and they managed to wrap up Mason Wood for a hole in the ball. They were looking down the barrel of a 25-point margin, because they had all the players goal side. Tom Jonas gets goal side of everyone, and he hits the post. They finally get a second score on the board. With 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, they want a quick turnover here and a goal. They wouldn't want to be going to three-quarter time 3 goals down. 2 goals is acceptable, but 3 goals is sort of yeah, that's danger territory. As Goldstein marks and kicks to Aaron Hall, he's going to work his way up. They have not turned this ball over until now. Jack Watts, quick handball off the mark. Don't know why he did that, because it's turned over. Players around the ball probably favoured Port, so when it goes forward North Melbourne's way, they're in real strife. Dan Houston takes the mark. He sends it back to the centre of the ground where Todd Goldstein's waiting, and that will be the end of the quarter. It's a 3-goal difference between the teams heading into the last quarter. Not unassailable, but you never want to be 3 goals down in this game. The quarters go so quickly. Only takes a little bit of effort to ice the clock, and there won't be enough time to come back. So can there be a few clean clearances for Port? Let's see. The ball comes out. It's going North Melbourne's way. It's a 3-on-1 in the contest. Throwing the ball against Trent Dumont, and Port get out of jail free card there. But they send it straight back North Melbourne's way, and again they've got a 3-on-1 goal side. There's a player all alone in the goal square. They don't go to him. Sean Higgins has gone straight over everyone, and he's missed.
North Melbourne starting to exert some dominance now. They lead 26-7.
19 points the difference. That might have been a handy point, to be honest. So it goes wide to Scott Lysette, who's playing up the ground a bit. Jack Zeeble intercepts, and this might just be the killer. Can Magic Door get the mark here? No, it's brought to ground. Ben Brown has to lay the tackle on Tom Cleary for another ball up. And Lycett slaps it forward again.
It's a really entertaining game of football.
Just tackle after tackle, but North Melbourne always seem to be one out. And they kick it out to Magic Door, who's just outside the 50. Just outside the goal square, so he should kick a goal here. Yeah, straight through the middle. No problem at all. And it's a 25-point lead to North, and they're winning the clearance again. And Polek's got space. He goes long to the top of the goal square, and Piscini cuts it off before it becomes the final nail in the coffin for Port. They've got to move it quicker than this though, because 25 points is a long way to come back from, especially in one quarter. They kick wide to Stephen Motlop. He's working up. They're working up pretty nicely. There's no pretty much risk-free here. They're just taking all the easy options. Kick it into the 50. Can someone get a mark? They can. This has been an absolute brilliant string of play. North haven't had a touch on the ball. The issue is it took them a whole 4 out of the 10 minutes that they had. And he's missed it. Magic Door takes the mark. No score made from it. And that will definitely be the end of the game. Port's kicked it forward again. But yeah, there's been enough time run off the clock now. They're not going to kick 5 goals in 4 minutes. So he's marked that out the ruck. He breaks 2 tackles. No, 1 tackle. He's holding the ball. Mason Wood just try to do too much there. And Justin Westhoff can line up to finally kick the second goal of the match for Port. But with less than 2 minutes left, they're going to be looking at a 1-2 scoreline. Westhoff kicks it. Put a little bit of respectability back on their name. It's a big percentage booster for North Melbourne. And they're just a bit of too little too late here. That's been called deliberate out of bounds. We're finally starting to get hands around the footy at the centre bounce, but North did enough for most of the game to shut Port completely out of that, and it was only a few times there where Port really got some run going. So Ken Hinkley said if they don't make finals this year, he will no longer be Port coach, and with 1-2 record against teams that they really should be beating, you think that might just come to fruition.
At the end of the match, the scores are North Melbourne.
Yeah, see, Port won the hitouts convincingly. It's the first time I've seen someone win a hitout and lose. Like, sorry, someone win a hitout convincingly. Does it show the player numbers? I want to know who the... Is that Jed Anderson that was taking the ruck? Mason Wood, Jed Anderson. I think Jed Anderson was the one that was taking the rucks, and I don't think he's overly short, but he shouldn't be a ruckman. Player of the match, I think, will be Higgins. I could be very wrong with that though. Oh, it's Jake Piscini. Higgins was the best North Melbourne player, so I mean I was around the mark, but apparently Jake Piscini, with all his intercept marks in the defensive half of the ground, was enough to get him player of the match. Westhoff got second, which I felt was a bit rough because he really didn't do much until the end of the game. Sean Higgins was best North Melbourne player, third best on ground. Who kicked the goals? Yeah, Higgins kicked... Oh no, it was 8 disposals. So yeah, he did get around the ball a lot. Yeah, Westhoff kicked 1 goal and he gets best on ground. He wasn't even close to being the best ball winner, so that's... Sorry, Westhoff didn't get best on ground. Piscini did, and he didn't get major ball winner either. Bit of a different one. Pick out someone that didn't really do much, had no real impact on the game at all. So yeah, quarters 2 and 3 was what did it in for Port. They did alright in the first quarter and they did alright in the last quarter, but yeah, just didn't quite get the win. Anyway, guys, that will do it for now. We'll go to the next game, another Saturday night.